Haunted Minds! We are in another best of 5 in the loser bracket of Meta Madness here at the playoffs, and we already had our first losers bracket match, which was insane. Now, if this one is gonna end up in a similar fashion, then we are definitely in for a treat today. So Haunted Minds is kicking things off. Meta Madness, of course, has some special rules to force the teams to think outside the box. I hope that by now you know those, because if not, then you've been pretty much living under a rock for the last 5-6 weeks. But just to sum this up real quickly, we have 22 heroes that are banned for the playoffs. These heroes can't be picked at all. And then we have another rule in place that every hero can only be played once within a series. Meaning that after map number 1, another 10 heroes are available. After the second map, it's 20, and so on and so forth, which very quickly leads to teams being forced into all kinds of crazy compositions. Now we got Scuffed teams and the Cats playing this one out, and the loser of this is out of the tournament and will then take a 7th and 8th place, whereas the winner has another chance to reach the grand final. We got Junkrat banned and Scuffed banned. Now, if the previous games are any indication, then in the first round what we are seeing quite a lot is teams aiming for a Nubarak and Varian combos. Those are two of the most powerful tanks that are still available, and we oftentimes get them comboed with Stukov or with Malfurion. In this case, obviously, Stukov is already banned, so that's not going to be a problem. But we'll see if and how the teams are going to adjust, you know. Yeah, Uther gets banned too. So they're already targeting some of the supports, but unfortunately only in the bans. I still want to see a team go all out and pick 4 or 5 supports in the first game and just eliminate them for game 2 and game number 3. That would be pretty fun. But we're easing in with the first map. It's actually the reason, by the way, in case I didn't know that, the reason why we have Haunted Minds, Blackheart Spey, and also Hanamura in some of the games, the maps aren't technically in the map pool, so the players can actually choose them. So when they lose a game during the series, they can't go and pick one of these maps. These maps are only played as starting maps, and we determine them because we're still saying, hey, you know what? Game number 1, it's the most normal game that you're going to see in all of these Meta Madness matches, because this is when most of the heroes are still available, but we still want to make it a little bit special, so we tell the teams which map to play, and it's always one of those 3. Now in this case, we have for the first round of the winner and the losers bracket, Haunted Minds as the starting map, just simply so that everybody is, you know, playing the same map as the starting map, so that there is no variance there that could influence the outcome of the games. And then for the second round, it's Blackheart, Spey, and so on and so forth. But that's the reason why we have sometimes these maps being played here, and it's been very popular with the audience. I gotta say that it has been mixed with players. Some of them actually enjoyed Haunted Minds and Blackheart Spey more than I would have expected. A lot of them are just sitting there as like, oh god, not again. So, yeah. Sonya and Whitemane are starting us off for Scuffed team. Now, Scuffed team was super interesting in the winner bracket because they embraced the Meta Madness spirit way earlier than most teams. Most teams were looking more so at meta drafts that they could still try to pull off within the limitations, whereas Scuffed teams has busted out some of the picks that you normally don't see right away. So it was really interesting. And we're not there yet, but Whitemane, for example, is not a hero that you would expect here. Simply because she's normally not that high up in the meta. Now, Stukov is banned, Uther is banned. Granted, that limits the pool a bit further, besides the heroes that are already pre-banned. But there's still a fair amount around, so we'll see. Anna gets banned, so no nano boosted Chromie, no nano boosted Malthael. That's a fantastic ban. Limits the healer pool also a little bit more. I mean, if they wanted, they could pick another one and really force the hand of the Cats already in game number 1 with 3 healers banned, 1 already taken. That's 4 that are unavailable. You won't be able to completely put them into trouble, but you could still try and limit their choices a bit further if you tend to do so. Varian is still an option, but not necessarily going to be the pick here, considering the way that they are going with this. Cassia is banned as well. And I actually learned earlier that at this point, she has the worst win rate next to Greymane. The two of them have the worst win rate in Meta Madness. Now that accounts for the group stage as well, and obviously in the group stage things are a little bit different. Personally, I think that in a tournament like this, there should be always a distinction between the stats when you're looking at group stage and at the playoffs, because they are approached very differently. Yeah, and here we are. We got Imperius and we got Arthur. So a very quick triple front line, which is also putting more pressure onto the tanks, because Imperius oftentimes doubles as a potential main tank for later on when the pool is getting thinned out a little bit more. But this is exactly what I've been talking about. They're going much faster into that Meta Madness spirit that you are seeing from other teams. And that can have a very interesting impact as the series continues. We get that Kane, we get False Stat. The birdie for the global, and an insta-pick on Kel'Thuzad for Mindhawk, who's been absolutely popping off with this Kel'Thuzad in one of the previous games. So let's find out if he can do it again. Haunted Mines, ladies and gentlemen, the first map in the best of 5. Game number 1 in the best of 5 series, everybody. It is time to party. We got Arthur's played by Mr. Taiko for Scuffed teams. We have Johanna and Imperius. Mindhawk, as explained, is playing Kel'Thuzad. Master Chips on Sonya. And Hanzuka on Whitemane. To the right side of the map, the Cats with Drakia and False Dead. We got Zero on Chromie. Herath is playing Malthael, we got Captain Rex on Deckard Kane, and No Game, No Life is playing Tyrael. Alright, let the show begin. Let's see which team takes the lead in this losers bracket match and can take the lead and maybe even extend it a little bit throughout the second map. We got on level 1 the stacking quest for the Howling Blast for Arthur's. Sonya is already sitting up at the top side. Chromie went into the deep breathing as her level 1 talent. And the Chromie composition is actually a bit interesting, because normally what we've seen in previous games is that most teams are trying for variant with Chromie, maybe even for Nubarak, but in this case they're going for a very different style. It's unbelievable that Sonya survived this. She got ganked by 3 heroes and made it. That's a bit bonkers. Yeah, that is really bonkers. I mean, good job. Happy for her, I suppose. But that was a bit unexpected. So Imperius is taking over at the top. And down to the bottom of the map, we still have them playing around with Mindhawk's Kel'Thuzad in particular. He wants to, of course, complete his baseline quest as quickly as he can to get the extra damage boost. But the aggression continues at the top. And yeah, they're forcing this out of Sonya again. So here we go. Let's see what else they can do with this now. Can they maybe claim the camps here? Both teams are splitting their attention on the camps. So we have nobody making an invade happen just yet. Well, as I said, we actually see exactly that happening. Jayard is the one that is moving on to the point, trying to get the team as second pumpkin camp, and they're committing heavily to it. Falstad is still at the top. That makes this a 5 versus 4 in favor of the blue team. The birdie is here, but he's too late. Tyrael is dead, and, well, it seems like Captain Rex is not going to make it either. Master Chips is about to go down, and so is Sonya. Damn, they turned it. Oh, maybe they didn't. For a second they did. For just a second they had it turned. But now it's an even trade. Each team loses 2 heroes. Oh, my talk! Oh my god! He is beasting it. Damn, son. Show some mercy. 14 stacks. Well, some decent damage that he got out with the first few fights. But still, what I was about to say is that they were able to... well, get 2 kills. It was a trade, 2 kills to 2, and they took the camp. So a win for the blue team. Both camps under their control, both pumpkin camps. Now we have level 4 abilities, and there's a slight lead in experience that we got for the boys in red. So at least they got that, right? Okay. That's a nice start. It's a pretty nice start into the game here. From the beginning, they're aggressive. Nobody is hedging their bets early and playing super passive or anything. Nope, they're really going for damage. They're going for aggression. They're looking to make some plays. And I'm all here for it. This is exactly what we want Meta Madness. We want more fights. We want more aggression. We want them going really ham on this. And this is exactly what they are currently doing. So, good stuff. Falset dealing with the top. Having a global is obviously worth a lot. The mines have now been opened up, so the first objective is up for grabs, and the teams can start to make their play for that. We'll see if they are going to go for an even split, or if one of them is able to pull ahead on this one. So far not seen anything on this. The fights are continuing at the bottom of the map, but they're looking for more. Let's see what they can do here. We also have a Yrel playing this real safe. Like, look at that, he's griefing. Wants to help out at the top, apparently. They're laying a bit of a trap, but Sonya gets caught down in the mines. They're going again for Master Chips. And that's the end of Sonya. Yep, Malthael is the one to put in the finishing touches. Kill number 3 for the red team. But Falstad gets caught as well and barely makes it out of the fight. But the battle isn't over, as we have Imperius connect with another stun and even more CC. The chains are coming out as Mindtalk is attempting to turn the fight around in favor of Scuffed team. But they also are now heading down into the mines again to try and reclaim the lead. The cats, that is. So they're starting to show their claws over here. But it's pretty cool that both of the teams are really going at it. There's an advantage still that has been maintained throughout most of it, and it is the lead in experience for the red team. The cats are just a little bit more diligent on that, and it translates into an early level 7 talent for them that they can now utilize here. So yeah, that's at least pretty good. Another attempted kill, and Falstad is dead. Falstad is down. Goodbye, baby. No chance for him. And with 3 kills to 3, down at the bottom of the map now, we also have J-Hard playing in a solo lane against Yrel, as talents are kicking in for both of the teams here. Okay. We got top side. Chromie getting locked down there for just a second. Chilling touch. It's also a little bit chilling that Khaldor is 5 minutes in at 23 stacks, so it seems like it's going to be a good game for Mindtalk, at least from how it's been going so far. 53 stacks against 37. Seems like they're going to get some more here, but Mr. Taiko is in trouble, and Sonya is too late to help him. So another 10 are ready. Yrel dies too. I mean, it's blow for blow in most of these cases. So it's 4 kills to 4, both teams on level 8. There will be a lead in skull stacks on the golem, and a significant one at that for the cats, but still it's the early game, so I love how both of them are just going for the aggression here and doing their thing. And with 25 stacks, it's very possible that Mindtalk is soon going to start popping off a little bit. It's a mage battle at the end of the day, if you're thinking about it. It's Khaldor against Chromie that we are watching here. 13,000 damage against 12,000 damage. And here's the first golems that appear in the game. So, up at the top, Chromie, careful. Nice Howling Blast, fantastic Howling Blast, but they just don't have the damage there. Deckard Cain is dropping one potion after another on her, and she is thirsty, gobbling those up one after another, and is able to stay alive. So good job by Deckard Cain. Chromie therefore still alive and can still attack from a distance, whereas Khaldor is trying to stop them as best he can. Still keeps up with the damage numbers here, and is inching closer and closer to a completed baseline quest, which is going to increase his damage by quite a bit. 27 stacks right now. They are about to take that top golem down, and both teams are about to hit level 10. So with both of them getting closer to level 10, that's obviously going to play a huge role here too. Yeah. Sonya griefing a little bit, apparently didn't see those circles. And they get another kill as well. Yrel is dead. Nice. Yrel down, and here's level 10 for the two teams, which gives us Leap and Frost Blast. That's a pretty cool combo that they can use. Leap and Frost Blast can be used together if they want to be super aggressive around the engagers. And especially Chromie should be a bit careful as this continues. We got the last rights. And also, Khaldor is done. Khaldor is done with the baseline, meaning he can now start to do some real work with the numbers and attempt to contest the top damage spot against Chromie. As they're attacking down here, we have the pumpkins getting closer, and Deckard Cain gets decked. He's dead. Sanctification is out as they're trying to survive through the battle. J-Hard and Arthas are trying to get out, and Arthas soaks up the last rights and makes it easily. Both of them dropping into the mines and surviving as Malthael and Falstad get both murdered by Khaldor. Nicely done. They're even going for a follow-up kill on Yrel. 3 heroes down. Scuffed team They are doing real damage here. They've been very... I mean, they've surprised in the winner bracket already. They got sent down to the losers bracket, but still, now they're looking at a lead with 9 kills to 4. And if that wasn't enough already, they have taken a level lead and have done real damage at the bottom fort on top of that. So, really well played. And Khaldor absolutely crushing it, obviously, too. As you can see here. He's at 22,000. Chromie is still ahead of him. But he's been doing a fantastic job in that last fight, which resulted in multiple kills. And the CC that he brings on top of it, too, is just great. Double stun by Sonya. She goes deep. Has to be super careful, though. We got the Frost Blast in as well. Malthael! He's so low. Still alive. And Arthas is dead. He plays with a vision. Fully with a vision here. And he's still going to die. Oh, okay. Wow. That was a really, really interesting double kill. Malthael and Khaldor locked into a 1v1. And thanks to the last rites, Malthael at least gets his revenge. The level 13 talents are ready. But holy hell, check this one out again. First, Malthael playing with vision the entire time, and then this happened. I love how he, by the way, dodged out on Khaldor's vision for so long and made it really difficult for Mindtalk to get that kill. And then he gets the counter. And that obviously gives him also a stack. And it is the first stack that he now has on last rites. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. Still, they are 5 kills ahead. Not really that far ahead in damage, but yeah. Oh, what a game! What a game! Good stuff. Yeah, down here, still trying to make a little bit of a play. Let's see what they can do with this one. Not too much just yet, as it seems. Okay. Still trying to get another one on Chromie, and they drop her, but now with the last rites, it is the end of him once more. Khaldor is down. They kill Falstad and Malthael, though, so the attacks are still going. And this was, by the way, there was a 4 versus 5 pretty much. Sonya was at the top lane the entire time. So Scuffed team is really the surprise of the tournament for me so far. They've been doing such a fantastic job just time and time again with these plays. It's honestly a little bit crazy. These guys are doing so well. It's really surprising. I didn't have them on my bingo card when it came to this tournament. But now in the lower bracket, they're just continuing the job that they've already been doing previously. And it's looking fantastic for them. So, yeah, nicely done. Really well done, actually. I am impressed, not gonna lie. We got in the lower levels now, the blue team getting a lead, or trying to get a lead on the Skulls. 14 kills to 7. Game is far from over, of course, but the Cats, I mean, they're a household name. Cats are definitely a name that's familiar. So, that they are struggling this much already on the first map is pretty impressive. Then again, you see situations like this one where Arthas gets completely caught with his pants down. Nobody wants to see that. So he's dead. Half a level away from 16, but it's still resulting in more and more skulls for the red team. And eventually, you want to win these objectives. I mean, they're going to lose out on another one, since they have the lead in experience and talent's not going to matter too much, especially since they also at the same time hold the advantage in structures. But as this continues, you can't just let this one slide. Yeah, nice. Forcing out the Sanctification. They still have to save Mind Talk, but it should be possible for them. And here's level 16. Okay, they got level 16. They have the talent advantage. Yeah, I love this, by the way. Leaving the skull up at the bottom, just one. And now the teams have to decide when they want to take it. So the blue team, for example, has to decide if they want to claim it now as they have a talent advantage, or how they want to play around that. That's pretty much the question. Sonya with another leap. They're trying to get more aggressive down here. And it is Mind Talk again with Khaldor that comes in. He's, by the way, lost his #1 damage spot on the team to Imperius. Imperius has taken over. So there's that. Imperius is claiming the lead at this point. Yeah, good for him. And now we have... The only one that hasn't died yet, by the way, is Whitemane. Whitemane is the only hero in the game that has not fallen yet. We have 22 kills, 13 minutes into this. So, yep, there we are. They're trying to get another hit together. Not so fast, though. Let's see what they can do down here. The attacks, they still keep coming. And at this point, it is nearly a level 16 that we're getting for the Cats. The Cats have actually done extremely well considering how far behind they were in experience. They haven't lost too much once the opponent had 16. So that gap, that talent gap, wasn't exploited as ruthlessly as I expected it to be by the blue team. So we're definitely trailing on that just a little bit. Probably a bit frustrating for them, but they still maintain the 1 level lead. Nobody has gone for that skull. I would have honestly expected the blue team to just pick it up, because for them it made a whole lot of sense to force these golems while they have a talent advantage. But now that it's even talents, it's something that the red team is going to have an interest in playing around with. Leap! Glorious! Perfect timing, but it allowed, with a gust, for Yrel to get his ult out. That gust was great. That gust saved his butt. They had to sacrifice 2 ults to save him, and they still lost the camp, but at least they kept Yrel alive. Yeah, so that alone already important here for them. Now, with that, we have top lane pressure. 20 is, of course, a real danger to the Cats. I mean, a real danger. Mind Talk makes his way back out again. Got the pumpkin slowly coming in, and they're connecting with the keep, so there's the damage. They are hoping for a kill on Malthael. The Angel of Death. He's doing a lot of dying here. Yeah, and Yrel has to be careful too. Yrel with a Horrific Reforging and the Sword of Justice. He's looking at 44,000 damage. Only Chromia has more damage than him. And Kel'Thuzad is at 36,000. Look at Imperius. He's at 39. The skull has by now been picked up. So yes, obviously they're now interested in fighting with the golem because now they have level 60 talents. The bad news is they don't have a tank anymore. Yeah, Yrel thought it was smart. He thought it was a bit cheeky as he was waiting in the wings. And then he just gets murdered. So bye-bye Yrel. He's eliminated. And that is a 5 versus 4, and instantly they're shifting their attention towards the top as they're saying, you know what, guys? In that situation, we can actually just simply move in and try and take the rest of you down. So, yep, there we go. They're making a couple more plays. They're trying now to go not only for the keep, but also maybe even for the core, if they can do more with this. It's definitely realistic from their perspective. They have, with a kill against Falstad, a massive numbers advantage. And with 16 to 8, the team fights have throughout the entire game gone their way. So here comes the stay a while and listen, but look at the core. The golem, it's not the big one, but it's still enough to do real damage here. And they're going to lose the shield and likely the game now. Scuffed team, huge for them. Really well done. Sonya is dead, so that's the first step, but the golem still has quite a lot of hit points left. And this is the end. This is the end and the lead. Scuffed team, they take map number 1, they win Haunted Mines and take therefore the lead in the best of 5 series.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Cursed Hollow, game number 2. Scuffed team with the lead against the Cats. Not bad, not shabby. They won on Haunted Mines and they won with their Kel'Thuzad here. So, very curious if they can pull that off again. It's a really interesting series to me. All of the lower bracket series are going to be pretty close, I would say. Or at least super interesting, because we have some teams that have showcased on the first day already that they are quite solid. And now here in the lower bracket, there's also a lot on the line, because again, it's whether or not you can still progress the tournament, or if you drop out of it. So we'll see if Scuffed team can actually decide that series in their favor. It would be quite the upset for the Cats to lose this one, I gotta admit though. So let's see what's gonna happen here. We have Cursed Hollow as the second map, as I already said. 10 heroes can't be played anymore because they have been part of game number 1. And another 22 are banned for the entire event. Rehgar also banned. I mean, again, big map. You want to take the globals away. Don't have to deal with Falstad anymore. He was already played previously, so he's not a concern. But yeah, banning him out here makes sense, obviously. But okay, let's see what we're going to get in regards to heroes, because I'm a bit curious if maybe the Vikings are going to make an appearance here. It's another map where you can also play Abathur. Abathur, Vikings, Samuro has been played here quite a bit. Cassia getting banned. Especially Vikings would be fun. Vikings would be pretty awesome, I gotta say. But I think if we're gonna get them, we're gonna get them... Ah, well... It's actually a good question. Is there a chance that they're gonna get banned out? I mean, obviously there is a chance, so you might have to commit to something like that a bit earlier. Abath, on the other hand... Viking time! Nice! Awesome! We get the Vikings, everybody! Me likey! First pick even, okay. It's time for the Butcher. Let's face it, it is time for the Butcher. Meat! Meat! That's the moment when you can just say, okay, we're gonna lock in the Butcher last or something. Not right away, but with Abathar Kharazim. Abathar Kharazim, if you have a Butcher with a symbiote on top of it, we're talking. All of a sudden, we're talking. Either way, this is going to be an aggressive play by them. So Greymane gets claimed so that at least there's no copy. There's obviously also Illidan. There's a couple of choices that they could go for that are very, very dangerous. In this particular instance. They get Uther too, so they have a Divine Shielded Greymane if they want it. I don't know, I like this. This has a lot of potential. This draft is already awesome, but it has a lot of potential to get totally crazy. Yeah, very, very curious what we're now gonna see on the bans, especially this final one. But in Illidan with Abathar and Kharazim would just be so dangerous to Scuffed team. Uther helps a little bit with this because he has a stun and the double with Benediction and could even go Divine Storm, which we've seen now a few times against Illidan in particular. But they're banning him out, so Illidan is not going to be a concern. It would be insane though if they would pick the Butcher. Trying to farm the Vikings, play around that, have Abathar help him out here. Kharazim, it would be glorious. It would be absolutely glorious. I don't believe in it myself, but it would be amazing. They leave it open as a final pick. Jaina and Anupurak. Okay, so now we have a double Jaina possibly too. They could do it. They could actually do it. Now keep in mind, they're not, if they're, whatever they're picking, they're not going to pick it to troll because they're behind already. You can't lose 2 in a row and then face off against an opponent where you have to win 3 matches just to make it into the next round. It's so difficult to pull that off. I don't think we're going to get the Butcher, but it would be glorious. It's our best chance so far, let's put it like that. Kerrigan and Yrel, double support, Uther, main tank, front line. And let's see what the real pick is. Highly unlikely that we're going to get the meat, as much as I would love it. They have to deal with the Vikings, they got to deal with the double support here. It's a strong 4-man that you always want to control whenever you play the Vikings, and this one definitely packs a punch. What are the cats going to do? What's the choice? What is the real Abathar target? Or do they just use it for Kharazim and copy Jaina? Gazlo! I'll take the Gazlord. I'll take the Gazlord. It's not the Butcher, but I'll take the Robo-Goblin. Alright, boys, let's go. Cursed Hollow, map number 2 here in the losers bracket of Meta Madness between Scuffed team and the Cats. Game number 2! Scuffed teams against the Cats. The blue team in the lead with Mind Talk on Kerrigan. Master Chips on the Vikings. We got Hanzuka on Yrel. Jehar on Greymane, and Mr. Tycho is playing Uther, the main tank for the team. Doubling the second support, doubling as a tank here. Whereas on the right side, it is Drake on Anupurak for the Cats. We got Captain Rex on Kharazim. Hirath on Gazlo, Zero on Jaina, and No Game, No Life is playing the Slug. Abathar in the house. 4 men is there. 4 men is traveling down to the bottom of the map. The Vikings are going to control the other 2 lanes. And we already have an answer on the build for Abathar, at least initially. And Venom Nest. So he's going into a Toxic Nest build. Uther has to be a little bit careful here. 10 hit points. Yeah, he's cutting that a bit too close for my liking. They obviously have no yeah, no beetles that they can play around. In the middle of the map, the same thing is happening. The problem is that these guys are going up against an Anubarak that can spawn beetles. They're going up against the Jaina, and they're going up against the Goblin. So, team, I'm not quite sure if they're realizing that they're heavily going to lose this one. This is a race right at the get-go where the fort is destroyed. Bot lane fort, I guess, will fall, but they might lose heroes on the way back. So, yeah. Whenever you see something like this happening, it basically means that the game gets accelerated. The fort still standing is definitely a problem. They might get it eventually, but this is accelerating the game. And that's what the two of them were trying to do here. So, yeah, Vikings up at the top now against Abathur. We got down here at the bottom of the map, them still trying to hold the fort down. Gazlo immediately with a bit of damage. Nice whip against the Nubarak. They're still continuing with this. The thought process is oftentimes the same. You want to use the 4-man as much as you can when you're playing the Vikings. You want to have a very strong one. That's why we have the double sustain. They have the stuns of Kerrigan and Uther, and that will force the red team back a lot. So the fort still gets destroyed. They need a little bit longer to pull it off, but they can still do it. Abathur is soaking up at the top with his body, but the wall will get attacked eventually by the Vikings. And there's camps to be had as well. So there's a lot of balls in the air right now that teams have to juggle, but it is of course a question of how you execute the macro more so than anything else. And the 4-man is aggressive. They are using the space that they get through their Viking pick as best as they can, trying to invade the camps of the opponent, trying to move in to get some quick kills, and just being always out for aggression and trying to just pull ahead as quickly as possible for them. They have a lead in experience thanks to that, and the more they're forcing a reaction out of the red team and force them to meet that aggression, the better for them, because it means that the Vikings will give them an even bigger lead. And of course, if they continue to do this, they are also going to be able to put pressure onto the bottom keep that they can enhance even further once that their bosses are up and they take a boss. So in the early game, you can really start to punish an Abathur composition if you play that style. And Abathur is now going up against the Vikings, which makes this worse. And Nubarak gets barely out. But even with him escaping, it's not really that much of a problem that he didn't die, because he still needed to retreat, which allows them to open that wall. And again, this is all about what we are seeing with the boss later and a potential curse on top of that too. So here it is. First tribute taken. This is a glorious start for the Scuffed team. It's fantastic. Fully opening up the bot lane, getting the first tribute, lead in experience. And if they can continue that, maybe get the first boss at the bot lane, the keep might fall very, very quickly. So, great start for the blue team. They already have the 1-0 lead in the series, but now they're looking strong here. Quick collapse towards the top. One of the Vikings down. The wall gets also slowly destroyed, so they're trying to counterplay this. And they have a lot that they can use to take structures down. I mean, you gotta give them that. Same time now, though, we also got the Vile Nest, so meaning no mule. No mule in this game. Which could be a problem considering that they're also already starting to lose control over the bot lane. But it's the tributes that really matter the most. I've been talking about this in the past, that with Abathur you normally are hoping to get at least one of the earlier tributes, or at least delay it long enough so that your opponent can't fight around the third tribute while level 10 is not ready for you yet. So that's a pretty big problem. And well, off we go. They are channeling again with the Vikings as they're pushing the lanes. So they're just forcing a decision on the side of the cats. Either you try and defend or you're going for the objective, but you can't get both. In this case, they're losing on both fronts. Vikings get killed again occasionally, but the wall is now opened up and we have 2 tributes already claimed. And it's 2 levels until the cats are going to have level 10. So this is exactly the situation that you're normally trying to avoid when you're playing with Abathur, because they're going to be forced into a fight before Abathur is going to have his copy up. And that's getting tricky. Since the walls are falling everywhere, red team is using the superior push power to take the top fort down. That's going to help them a little bit. But the Vikings are dealing with the bot lane and getting the experience there. They're closing in on level 10. It's half a level. And they opened the mid lane up as well. Now structurally, technically speaking at least, Scuffed team is a bit behind, but bosses are now up. They could go for that. And that's what they're going to try and do. Because they have level 10. And this is really a shitty spot to be in if you are a fan of the Cats. Because if they get this channel, that means a boss is moving through the bot lane and you're cursed. You can kiss that keep goodbye if that happens. So they have to fight for this, and they will do that. Boss is taken in just a moment. Vikings have to delay this a little bit. Level 10 isn't there yet, keep that in mind. There's no level 10 for the red team. Boss is taken, and now it's all about the tribute. They can get the Vikings in here and then start the party. And as long as there's no copy up, that is going to work out for them. Karazim is moving in, and there it is. Curse is there, and oh boy, are they in trouble now. This is real dangerous. The fight itself, Minder goes down. That's good news for the Cats. At least they're getting the kill. This was really important that they're getting the kill here. Time is a wasting though, as we have Greymane also falling. No counter kills for the blue team. And that is maybe the saving grace of them, because at the bottom of the map, we already have the keep getting demolished. And they need to burn this boss down as quickly as they can. Whereas topside, Uther is trying to do his thing, and he gets stunned here. Could deal with the catapult though, and that's what he's doing. So the curse is giving them a bit more wiggle room, and the Vikings are now trying to push the lanes even further. But they all have to defend the boss at the bottom, but this keep obviously has suffered a lot of damage. Those kills were so important. Super important kills for the Cats. If not for that, they would have lost a lot of ground. But as is, that curse wasn't too bad. That could have been so much worse. I mean, it's even Steven in experience. This one is gonna get killed. They might even flank in. Now they decide against it. But yeah. Eric is dead. They're still trying to go for the camp here. Olaf is pushing the bot lane. The longer they can pin them towards the top, the more pressure against the bottom keep. This might actually be the end of the bottom keep. If Balog now comes in, they try for the kill, and they get Jaina. Nice. And even Gazlo gets murdered. Gazlo down, Jaina down, Nuburak, he's gonna die. Dracula is dead. Karazim made it out of the fight, but that also means that now down here at the bottom of the map, there's even more pressure happening. In the middle, they've taken the fort down. They can now continue to push through the mid lane. Level 13 talents for Scuffed team, and they're attacking on all fronts. And that bottom keep, thanks to the catapult and Balog, is not gonna make it. Balog comes in, is going to take it down with the help of the catapult. In the middle, they're attacking another wall. And, well, they actually... Nope, it's dead. The keep's gone. So, this is looking great for Scuffed team. They have the lead in experience. Kerrigan with another nice combo. She herself also has to be careful. Uther a little bit low. Divine Shield is already out. Tycho gets murdered by the Goblin. Gazlo gets the kill. They want more, and they're likely gonna get more. Kerrigan is in trouble, and there's stun after stun coming through. A nice heal at the last second of Oriel, but not for much longer. And Greymane is also dead. The Aegis only saving him for a second. They're even able to take the support down. So 8 kills to 3. Overstaying their welcome a little bit. Really losing ground for no particular reason. Only Vikings surviving and still pushing. It's a bit of a weird game, to be fair, since... 2 forts have been destroyed on the blue team side. They keep doing these things where they are losing too many of their heroes for no reason whatsoever. So that's a little bit strange, and then they end up in a situation like this one where they are all of a sudden starting to lose more of their structures. They lose more ground on the map. Makes things a little bit tricky. So I'm not quite sold on this yet. I think they had a great spot initially, especially when they took the keep down and threatened the second. But right now it's starting to become a bit more dicey. So yeah, we'll have to see what they can actually pull off here. And if they can continue this, because there's it's tribute number 1. I was about to say there's always the danger of your opponent getting a curse against you, but then to be fair, it's the first tribute that the red team is now going to take. And as long as the Vikings are still guaranteeing them an extra inflow of experience, they can try and use that to their advantage, and they will definitely do that. Abathar is now getting a bit more aggressive with his positioning on the map, and I mean also fully warranted, of course. But yeah, let's see what they can do. Once that more keeps get destroyed and they can go for another boss is obviously good news for Scuffed team. What I'm just trying to say is that the Cats can still turn this around. They can still win this one. But the pressure with the mercenary camp is now happening, and as this is playing out in the mid lane, we still have top lane pressure by Olaf. So there's a chance that they're going to get more damage on the fort, and this is what you're aiming for at the end of the day. You want to have more macro control. So yeah, so far so good. Next tribute coming up soon. Getting announced now, and the bosses are also back up on the map, but this fort is not looking too great. And still the pressure down here. But Avatar is also doing his best to at least counterplay this a bit. And they know they need to have some kind of weapon against the red team. Sorry, against the blue team. So they're trying for the boss. Gasler's going to be super helpful here. Yeah, they're getting closer and closer on this one. The Vikings will have to assist eventually. I mean, it's not a 16, so Balog has his, Olaf has his stun. Divine Shield to save the day. They need to try and get Uther back out here. Good stun against the Nubarak, and he's dead. Really important fight now for both of them, and it seems like Scuffed team might take the better battle. The boss has been reset. That's already a big win. The copy on Jaina is eliminated. It's a lot of the damage gone. They lose Uther, and they still have to be a bit careful with especially Greymane. He cannot go deep on this one. So that's Nubarak eliminated, but they want to go for the boss. Oof. Yeah, they try and turn it here. Stun is in, and Karazim is pushed back, but this is not happening. They are definitely too aggressive around this now. Karrigan, Mind Talk just committing Sudoku at this point. You can't just sit down and solve a math puzzle in the middle of a fight like this. And this is exactly what I've been talking about earlier when I said that there are still opportunities for the blue team to screw this up a bit. This would be one of those opportunities. So Karrigan dying here didn't really help him. And the boss will now be taken, despite their best initial efforts in the kill against the Nubarak. So now it's topside pressure. The longer this lasts, the better it looks for the cats, honestly. Yeah, the more this continues like this, the better for the cats. So 10 kills to 4. A lot of the macro pressure on the map with catapults is not really, doesn't really matter all that much anymore. The next tribute after this one is going to also curse them. So Scuffed team is starting to lose ground. And quickly. 2 bosses against them. Vikings are losing some of the steam that they provided initially. And the keeps are taking damage. Yeah, this is getting worse and worse for them. They had 2, especially the little throw in the middle when they, most of them died. Well, all of them died except the Vikings. When they were pressuring for the keep. That was kinda necessary. So now the Vikings are trying to regain map control for them as they're defending down here. That should also result in the top fort being destroyed. But I don't think there's too much more that can be done. I mean, Master Chips is now trying to pressure for the next keep. If they can take that down, that would of course be fantastic. I just don't really see it happening. So this bottom keep, they're gonna be able to save it. I guess somebody is gonna half back in just a second to ensure that there's not even more damage done in the middle of the map. But it's some decent damage on the keeps. Again, 14 minutes in, the catapult is doing a little bit of work. It's not too crazy just yet. But this is now a curse that we're talking about, and I'm not sure how much they can interrupt. The keep, if they can just buy enough time, might even fall. Balog is going to take that minion wave down, and then the catapult is going to do even more damage. So even if they take the curse here, if they just are able to interrupt over and over again, that keep is going to be gone. Yeah, yeah, the bait. At least the catapult is down. So they gotta save this, and they give it up. They give it up because they're realizing that they're in a really shitty spot here and that they are split. So they decide to give up the tribute, which means that for each team the next one is going to be the important one. Level 20 talents are now kicking in, and they're also giving up the top fort as a result, obviously. For the Vikings, that means that they now have the Fury of the Storm. Redemption for Uther making a lot of sense as well. Greymane, after going for the throat, is going straight into the Unleashed. It's an interesting game. Epiphany here. It's a close game too. I think it could be better for Scuffed team than it is right now, but kudos to the cats for always clawing their way back into this. So yeah, here come the hits. 7-sided strike. Avatar. Oh, Greymane dead. That was big. Big hit. Greymane dead. Nicely done. Vikings at the bottom, Vikings at the top lane. But it's the red team that is trying to now go for gold as they are going for the keep. And they have big, big damage here. Me likey. Good damage. The keep about to go down. Abathar. Oh, curse is happening. A curse against the red team. They might try to go for the core here. I don't really think so. The stun on Gaslow. He stayed too long. He stayed too long. And he's still alive somehow. Somehow he is still alive. Another stun from Olaf. The keep in the mid lane is falling on the blue team side. Keep in the mid lane is falling. This one's gone. This one's under pressure. Oh my god. The Vikings sneaking the curse could just be the big play. They're going for the core now already. Kerrigan, she can't die here. 7-sided strike, not doing enough. I think the cats have to go for it. The cats think they have to go for it and they lose Kerosene. No, they lose Kerosene. They lose Gaslow. They lose everything. They lose the entire team. Enumera gets absolutely wrecked. And we are going for the core as Scuffed team is looking at victory in game number 2. They pulled the Vikings off. They made it happen. And this is a 2-0 in this best of 5 for Scuffed team as we are headed to game number 3. Game number 3, Battlefield of Eternity. They pulled it off. Scuffed team is in the lead with a 2-0. We are headed for the third map, meaning 42 heroes are now banned. And the cats need to win 3 in a row if they want to stay in this tournament. Definitely an upset for them. I don't think they expected to be in that position to begin with, and I didn't really expect it either. I expected them to at least take 1 out of the first 2 maps, but that didn't happen. Now Cho'Gall gets banned. Seems like the cats are finally done with all of those curveballs that are being thrown by the blue team. So they banned Cho'Gall out instantly here on Battlefield. It was the map choice of Scuffed team, by the way. First pick, first ban was claimed by the cats. But this is going to be good. This is actually going to be good. I'm really interested to see if they can pull off a complete 3-0 victory against them. I mean, check this out. They're also banning Artanis. So pretty much anything that has any X-Factor capabilities is getting banned. They could come in and ban... next ban Murky. That's pretty much what's going on here. Forcing them into a standard draft is what they are apparently trying to do here. I'm impressed by the blue team. I really am. It's a bit disappointing for the cats. I mean, the cats, as I said, they've been a household name in tournaments for a long time. So for quite some time, they've been battling to make their way into the top 3, top 4 on the European side. And they're always good for some real aggression. But at least here, they are struggling and struggling a lot. They start things off with Soljin, though. And Soljin is actually not bad against the Immortal. Now again, all in the context of 42 heroes already being unavailable, because 20 of them were played, 22 are pre-banned for the entire playoff stage. So yeah, they start with Soljin. That's definitely a nice direct damage dealer for them. And we have Varian and Stukov coming out. This is a comp that we're normally seeing in game number 1. Those 2 heroes usually here in the playoffs did never make it past the first game. Now we have them in game number 3, which is of course making this a very powerful opening for Scuffed team. And there is still plenty of mage damage available that they can use to capitalize on a good taunt and lurking arm combo. One of them being off here. Okay, we get Mei and we get Morales. Yeah, it's definitely getting a bit wild now. Morales with the stim drone for Soljin. If they want X, they're gonna get X. I can guarantee you that much. Oh. Alright. Let's see what else we're getting. By the way, for the people that watch this on YouTube, we've had the question now come in once or twice already about the HGC shirts. It's actually part of what I talked about, I think, 1 or 2 weeks ago. We've put some new merch onto the shop, so the Heroes gaming community can now be represented. Blizzard tried to burn the esports of Heroes of the Storm to the ground, but like a phoenix of the ashes, the Heroes gaming community has emerged victorious. So if you want to check that out, there is a link in the YouTube description that you can have a look at. Yeah, we got a few more things there as well. The fruit fly collection, of course, too. But they are still kind of fun, especially in the context of the offline event that we're gonna have in Miami in June. Sorry, not in Miami, in Berlin in June. This time it's being held in Europe. I will try to remember to also put a command for that or a link for that into the description of the video. So if you haven't heard about the Nations Cup yet, that you can actually check it out there. Lunara and Chen get taken. Yeah, we got... I mean, they can already keg it around. Lunara really good for the Immortal damage. I would wish for Mindtalk to now get a hero that can capitalize a bit more on the CC that Varian provides. But besides that, you got Fat Illidan to really bring the pain, and Lunara can focus on the Immortal. So it's not too bad. We still need a side laner for the cats as well, so let's see what they can do here. Bit more damage wouldn't go amiss either. Double! Ooh! 2 supports! Ana Morales. Okay. Unexpected. Double support Soljin. Damn. That is definitely thinking outside of the box. I've never seen that before. Okay, so this got real interesting now. And for Scuffed team, they still need a damage dealer. But let's see what we're getting. It's Sophia. Again, I talked about Sophia already a bit earlier, and she's going to be the one to try and follow up on the CC. Game number 3, match point number 1 for Scuffed team. Let's find out together if they can pull it off, or if the cats are now trying to put a point onto the board and slowly claw their way back into the series. Scuffed team with a 2-0 here at Meta Madness in the losers bracket. We got the cats on the right, and the blue team with Mr. Taiko and Varian, Hanzuka on Stukov, Master Chips on Chen, J-Hard playing Lunara, and Mindtalk on Orphea. To the right side, the cats, the last chance to slowly bring this back. We have Drak here playing Mei, Captain Rex on Morales. It's no game, no life on Soljin with Heroes on the Hogger and 0 on Ana. So at this point, all about Soljin's damage. And here level 1 goes into the Recklessness. The entire 5-man is currently going down to the bottom of the map. The Hogger is obviously going to be the one that after an initial engage is going to move topside. But big for the blue team. And this is even bigger. Soljin gets instantly deleted. That's the best way to keep him from stacking. You just smash his face in with a hammer. And that's what they're trying to do here. So that was perfect for them. Soljin, right from the get-go, is getting killed. Death timer is obviously non-existent this early in the game. But yeah, not how they wanted to open this one up, I can guarantee you that much. Now, I've already been teasing in the draft a little bit the offline event that we have planned for Berlin. So just in case that this is still news to you and you haven't caught it, but we are holding a Nations Cup and the finals will be in Berlin at the beginning of June. So we had 2 events in Miami last year, and if you want to experience Heroes of the Storm in an offline environment, if you want to experience it live, shake hands with players, casters, whoever, then that's a great opportunity for everybody that wants to maybe combine a short vacation in Berlin with the Heroes of the Storm event. The entrance is free, so that free entry. I'm going to try and remember putting the link down into the description so you can check out the details if you're watching this on YouTube right now. And if you want to also maybe get together with a couple of friends from your country, other players that live in the same country as you, you can sign up for the event and maybe even, you know, get an invite. Everything is paid for the players, flights and accommodation. So therefore, it's going to be a pretty awesome event. The event in Miami was great. If you haven't watched it yet, there's a playlist, Heroes International, on the YouTube channel. But this one is going to be pretty epic as well, just as a bit of a side note on all of this. 1 kill to 0. They're gonna go for Soljin again, and guess what? He died again. But I gotta give him one thing. He is stacking like a crazy person. So Lunara dying, that's obviously already a bit of a setback. But the more important part is, look at his stacks. He's at 13. We're 2 minutes in. Now he died again, granted, but the main goal for Soljin in the early game is stacking, and he's doing that. So, as they are trying to take him down, and 2 supports are healing him, he just keeps attacking and is absolutely crushing the stacks. That is... it would be a little bit concerning if I'm Scuffed team. Because you replay that a few more times this early on when the death timers are low, and I can guarantee you that Soljin eventually is going to rip you apart with his auto attacks. So we'll have to wait and see how this one goes, but yes, he is sitting at 14, and let's not forget, once that he gets stack number 15, he's going to get a range increase as well, which is going to make things a little bit easier for him too. So, yeah. Immortals are up. So that's the more important part. Both teams have their camp. Immortals are up. Soljin is starting to do his damage here. Obviously, we're going to have Varian try and aim for him with the taunt whenever he can. But very curious how this is going to play out, since at least initially, No Game No Life is getting some serious value here and continues to work in those auto attacks. He has the range increase as we speak. Yeah, Lunara is doing what she's supposed to do. She's focusing her attention onto the Immortal. Both of the teams still racing for the halftime show. And, well, it is pretty much an even battle between them. The blue team wins it, but only by the tiniest margin. A couple hundred hit points is all that distinguishes the two teams at this point. So, yeah. Same time now. We have the Lake against Varian. Fat Illidan jumping in deep, and he's immediately being used as a pin cushion for the axis of Soljin. Is trying to get out, fails to do so. And that's 22 stacks for Soljin. I think that the blue team is soon gonna call for help, because this is not going their way. Another nice taunt, really sacrificing his life for this one. So, No Game No Life, able to get the damage out. But the objective goes to Scuffed team. I mean, him coming in and going for the taunt means their only damage dealer attacks Varian. And that's pretty much what you want in this situation, so him dying isn't really a problem. They are still getting the early level 7 talent, and they have the Immortal, so it's all fine. But it would concern me a bit, looking at the numbers, if what Soljin can do in the late game, if that style continues. Eventually, the death timers obviously are increasing to an extent where you can't make that play anymore, if you're Soljin. But up to that point, still. So, later on he can't die like that anymore, but for now it's still fine. So they're burning this down, gate's gone, and keep in mind that we're also getting Morales with the stim drone very likely, and maybe even a nano boost for Ana, so there's a few things that will really play a big role in this game once that level 10 abilities are available for the teams. But this is a wild one. Stacks on level 7 for him too, so Arcanite access. They're getting full hyper carry on this. Double support, double frontline, full hyper carry for the red team as they're trying to win the game this way. Down to the bottom of the map. We get the Khazras attacked again, and the camp likely going to be claimed by the blue team. Another taunt as they're this time focusing their attention on Mei. She slides in, they're about to claim it here. What about Ophia? Can she maybe turn this? Dukov has to retreat. They only have one support, and he currently can't help them a lot. So it's again Varian that gets attacked, and they're making their way out. Now, 34 stacks for Soljin. He gets the double swing on the Arcanite axis and has 12 stacks on this too. I'm really worried for the blue team here. If they can kill Soljin later with Chen jumping in with a good taunt, then hey, no problem. But I'm a little bit worried for them because we're 6 minutes into the game and he's at 34 stacks. And he's smacking already. He is smacking. There's the taunt. This needs to be killed. This needs to be killed. And there it is. All right. This is the one play that the Cats really have to avoid. Varian being able to just flank him like this and forcing the issue around it. So that's an opportunity now for Scuffed team to pull a little bit ahead. And they are, as you can see, already trying to use exactly that. They get an easy kill on Morales. Moku's Forales strategy is working out as usual, and they also get Mei. So now they have to snowball this a little bit further. Just push it in with level 10, take the fort down, try and see if they can drop part of the wall. They have the heroic abilities. The Immortal is up, so after the fort they will likely focus on the objective instead. But these are the opportunities that they need to create for themselves if they want to have a chance to win this game. Because as it continues, the damage output of Soljin is going to become ridiculous. At least at the pace this is going. He has 22 stacks now also on his Arcanite access. If you allow him to get into the late game, the only way that you're winning this game is by killing him. And he will not go for guillotine. There's no way. There is no way. Him dying is literally the worst case scenario. Going guillotine here would be an absolute grief in my eyes. And yes, they're going to Dingo. It's the panic button that he himself can pop whenever there's a need. Guillotine with a nano boost, yes, would be funny, would do damage. But if you lose Soljin, you lose the game. That's just what it is. So they have to keep him alive. And Arcanite Axes benefit from the nano boost, of course, as well. So does that. We now got the stim drone. Yeah, they need to kill him, and they need to kill him quickly whenever he's getting daunted. This is going to be rough. Arcanite Axes here also great, by the way. I mean, how are you going to defend against that? Swing, swing, stack, stack. Yeah, there's a taunt against Mei. I mean, good luck with that. I don't really think that he can do a whole lot against her, even with a Sugar pull-up. But yeah, look at the damage. He's stacking and he's getting damage whenever he gets in a position to pull that one off. So, yeah. Off they go with a big chomp, trying to zone them out a little bit. Orphea doing her best. That's a new one, alright. So, Rehgar gets the stim drone. They're trying to go for Mei again. Rehgar is just waddling around. I think they get Mei here. Yes, Mei is dead, but so is Varian. Lunara is dead too. Soljin is at 48, 51 stacks on the Arcanite axis, and he has 41 on the baseline. This is insane. He's going to rip them apart. He's going to absolutely rip them apart. Uses his ult, gets more hits in. I mean, just look at this. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Chen gonna die. Yep, eventually. There it is. And he's at 52 stacks right now. Just a little bit of an idea of where he's on the damage numbers. He's at 43,000 right now. 43,000 damage for Soljin. And most of this comes through that last fight. He was way behind Orphea before this happened. And right now, it's a one-man wrecking crew. I mean, he's green as well, so it kind of works. But this is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Okay, he has the attack. There's the taunt. They're trying to go for him, and it's not quite working out. And now he has the stim drone. Varian is dead. Look at Soljin's damage. Look at that thing just ramping up. The only reason why he stops with the damage is because everybody is either dead or running away. This is the only reason why it's stopping. 52 and 61 stacks 10 minutes into the game. Yeah, the Scuffed team has just lost the game. Unless they are able to kill him. This is literally what's going to happen here. Scuffed team has lost this game unless they are somehow able to kill Soljin. It is the only chance that they have to take this one. Kill Soljin and then go hard. Level 13 is in now. Ults are coming slowly back. And now we're getting the Eye of Soljin too. Movement speed on top of that as well. He has everything. There's the taunt. He moves out. Ice Wall being used to save him. Triple Panda is making an appearance. And Soljin just says, oh, thank you very, very much. More bodies that I can stack on? Fantastic. Thank you. That's just what I needed. 69 stacks, by the way, just saying. So yeah, gets another hit and just, I mean, he is insane. Absolutely insane at this point. And this is only level 13. If he makes it into, if the game lasts until the late game, can you imagine his damage output? It's gonna be incredible. I mean, he's at 82 stacks on his level 7. 82. 60,000 damage. He pulled ahead by 20,000 damage compared to Orphea. Oh, what a strategy here by the cats. That is why Meta Madness is so awesome. They came in with a plan and it is working beautifully. Even with Soljin dying 3 times. And yeah, there he is again. Axes everywhere, hitting, stacking, increasing the damage in the late game, 1 hit at a time. They wanted axe and they got axe. That is all that happened here. And now comes the stim drone. Did we get that again? Oh, they're not committing to it just yet. Alright, here's the pew pew pew. Stim drone. Hit after hit after hit. 70,000 damage, 73,000 damage, 74. This is ridiculous. 75,000 damage. Are you shitting me? He's nearly doubling our fear. 99 stacks on level 7. 63 on the baseline. This is insane. What a beatdown. Full troll mode. Yep. Soljin, one hit at a time. Double support behind him. They just can't kill him. They're trying and they just can't. Lunara is just dead. Lunara is just dead. Varian is sitting here. It's like, get me out of this one. Get me out. And it's not happening at all. Soljin coming in and he's just melting the Immortal away at this point. Bonkers. Wrong place, wrong time. Can you imagine how much damage he's now going to do with all of this? Level 16 is there and it is glorious what they're doing. Shield sequencer is in, more safety. And again, let's not forget, he has also chosen the perfect ult for this. Yes, you can meme a little bit and get good damage out with the guillotine. But currently he's being kept alive by 2 supports. If at any point the shit hits the fan, he presses R, he's safe. After level 20, even more so than now. It's bonkers. Lunara just disappeared. Just disappeared. 1 second she's there, next second she's gone. Soljin with a couple more stacks. He has level 70 now. Gets a couple stacks also for his level 7. Ridiculous. If there was a surrender button in Heroes of the Storm, Scuffed team would be smashing it right now. Absolutely smashing it. 82,000 damage. I really feel a little bit sorry for them, but at the same time, I'm also insanely happy to see Soljin going on such a murder spree. It is ridiculous to see that damage output. Just look at the number go up. They're not even fighting. They're just like trying to quick engage and then run away, and it's not working. But look at what happens when they're trying to fight. The thousands are just ticking up for him. They just tick up. There it is again. Goes in. 80,000, 90,000, 91, 92. Still attacking. He's in at 93, 94, 95. What the fuck? It's like, this is crazy. 97, 98, 99. 15-minute mark and he's crossed over into the 6 digits. 100,000 damage for him. He's at 120 stacks on the 7, 85 on his baseline, and this is just a solo show. Ridiculous. What a game. What a strategy. Perfect here. Absolutely love this. What a fantastic plan by the Cats. What an amazing plan, and it worked out perfectly. They put a point on the board and they force game number 4. GG. Well played. Towers of Doom, map number 4. Soljin popped off a second ago. I mean, damn son. Did they do a number on them? More than 100,000 damage in a 15-minute game? I just want to imagine what would happen in that game if somehow the blue team could have survived another 5 to 10 minutes. Would have been insanity. But either way, we are now on Towers of Doom, so there's a point on the board for the Cats, and they're of course hoping to force map number 5, which would make this just another full 5-mapper in the loser bracket. So Scuffed teams, they have other plans. They want to end it here. They don't want to end up in that situation. The Cats are following the same ban pattern though that they already executed on Battlefield of Eternity. So Cho'Gall is immediately out, and now they're looking for the rest here. Yeah, I like it. Well, it's good stuff. So the Cats still believing. They still believe. They still have hope. Hope that they can win this one. Now, since we are in game number 4, this means that now 52 heroes are banned. 52 heroes have been eliminated now, so a fair chunk is out of the game already. And yeah, this is going to have a pretty big impact, especially for the front line, where you have Mal'Ganis, ETC, and Stitches still available. And that's pretty much it. So in regards to tanks, you had Cho'Gall too, but he was already banned. So maybe an early Stitches pick, maybe a Mal'Ganis pick, ETC here in towers, I'm not quite sure. I mean, you get a lot of good engages if you have the right power slide, but he's also more on the squishies. So we'll see. They start with Tychus. It's actually not that bad, because if they are now going into Stitches and he has really nice damage against him, you can say the same against Mal'Ganis, and ETC is a little bit lighter on the hit point pool. So Tychus is a good pick here as well, getting some nice damage out right from the beginning. One of the problems could be the supports, I was about to say, but they lock in Malfurion immediately. Tyrande, Alexstrasza and Lili, those are your options. It's a bit surprising to me that they didn't try to ban out a few more of them and maybe force their hand slightly. That could have happened too. Alright. So, what else are we getting? We have ETC Malfurion. I mean, that's obviously a good combo already. You have a power slide straight into the root. There's our Mal'Ganis pick together with D.Va. She's playing to win, by the way, in case you didn't notice yet. Bumblebee skin, though. I like that one. One of the few non-shitty Transformer movies. I gotta say, though, that I don't know if the Transformers Beast Wars thingy or whatever it's called, if that's released already. The trailer looked fun. Silly. I mean, it's a Transformers movie. But it looked fun. As long as you get rid of Michael Bay, I'm totally on board with testing that out again and giving it another shot. Yeah, we got Tyrande banned out, so they're limiting the support options now. I mean, they could pick them away. There's only Lili left and Alexstrasza, so they could just say, you know what, we're playing 3 supports now. 3 supports, 1 tank, 1 damage dealer. Can go a Lili double dragon. And leave the other team without a support at all. But there's Artanis, and we get Gul'dan. Okay, Gul'dan in the house for the Horrify. I would assume that Alexstrasza is going to be the weapon of choice on the support side, and then they will likely get themselves another damage dealer. There's still a few that we haven't seen in the playoffs at all. Butcher obviously the prime example, but even Probius hasn't been chosen yet. Asmodan hasn't been picked yet in the playoffs either. We at least had Tassadar and Zagara already. But yeah, let's see what Scuffed team has up their sleeves this time for map number 4. Lili and Deathwing. Lili over Alexstrasza. Alright. Apparently 1 dragon was already enough. They didn't want to go for 2 dragons. It's a bit too much to ask. Okay. And the final one. Yrel, ladies and gentlemen. What do we get from him? It is... well, it should be another damage dealer. Now that I'm thinking about it. And it's Illidan! Illidan ETC and Artanis. Let's go, boys! Game number 4, Scuffed team against the Cats. Game number 4, Scuffed team on the left with Mr. Tycho and Mal'Ganis, Mind Talk on Deathwing, Hanzuka on Lili, we got Master Chips on D.Va, and J-Hard is playing Tychus. On the right side of the map, the red team, after just locking in a victory on Battlefield of Eternity, they're aiming to force game number 5. We got No Game, No Life on ETC, Drak here on Gul'dan, Captain Rex with Malfurion, Zero on Artanis, and Yrel is playing Illidan. Okay, so it is gonna be a fun one. Artanis with the stacks, the protector of Ire. And yep, the unending hatred of playing 10,000 Hero League games. There it is. And the Saki build for Gul'dan. Alright, Gul'dan starting off with the Saki. We have also on the other side the Eager Adventurer. And it's already Molten Core time. Blood. Alright, so what else are we getting? There's the next hit coming in as they're trying to go for Deathwing for just a second. Beautiful skin as well, a little bit more traditional going here for the black and Milaiki. But yep. Mind Dog is getting attacked at the bot lane just a little bit. I mean, they're going to have a tough time taking him down. Obviously, he's also quite solid against, for example, Gul'dan when the Horrify comes out. That's another one We have ETC in this case coming in with the Guitar Hero. Topside, D.Va against Illidan. He's gonna scale into the later stages of the game. And yeah, Lili, she's gonna be doing her thing in the team fights, obviously focusing on the heals and not going full double dragon on us. But should be a really interesting one. So yeah, I'm a little bit curious on what exactly they can do on the camp, because the aggression is coming from the red team as they are hoping to invade the opponent's pumpkin camp and take it down. Illidan is the first one to fall, and well done. So, with that, we have now 1 kill, 2-0. And we're also having in the middle of the map a bit of a swap. But that doesn't really do a whole lot for you. So, yeah, a bit unfortunate. But then again, the attacks, they are still coming. Illidan is down, he's the first one to fall. It slows down his progress on the stacking a little bit. Again, it's a late game for him more so than anything else, of course. It's also true for someone like Artanis that we're seeing here. With level 4, we're getting the safety sprint for Lili. The build for Gul'dan continues as well. And yeah, it's just a little bit of early skirmishes. Mass Assassin level 4 for Tychus. So again, it's about the attack speed for Odin. The passive that you're trying to lock in. That's going to be the big one for you. We have also triple altar phase that now gets announced. The first one is about to be ready. And then we're going to see which team is able to pull a little bit ahead here. Minddog soaking most of the damage at the same time down at the bottom of the map and doing his best to sustain through that. It's only a single kill so far, so everybody is just being a bit cautious here. For the cats, of course, it's important that they're not making big mistakes. Great slide from Jayhard, I like that. That was actually really good. Great job by him. Yeah, that was pretty epic. That was actually really epic. Just as ETC slides in, he has the perfect timing on his own slide and is able to get away here. Now the interrupting Malfurion as the top left has already been channeled. Malf is trying again, gets interrupted once more, and Mr. Tycho is immediately in the back line trying to help out here. You know what? We're gonna get Tychus for a bit of a flank move. Needs to be very careful against Artanis, but Illidan, after he now has channeled the top right, is also about to join the fight. Actually, I thought so, and then he's busy in the middle. Mr. Tycho Mal'Ganis, he makes it out. Malfurion! Oh, the root! He gets away, but he should not rejoin that fight anytime soon because he's running out of hit points quickly. Illidan with the channel attempt gets interrupted by D.Va, but more and more it seems like the red team is going to be the one to lock in the second altar. Malfurion, he's back to business too, is trying to do his thing here. Yep, but that might be the end of the support. Kill number 2 in level 7. Well done. I would have bet there towards the end that it's going to be the the red team that takes the second altar, but far from it. With a second kill, a lot of momentum, an early level 7, and now even a camp stolen. We see Scuffed team taking a small lead over the opponent's team. Yeah, Saki build continues for Gul'dan with the Curse of Exhaustion. We got the hammer on for ETC. And the first kill that counted towards the Master Assassin for Tychus. So, nice. Nicely done. More aggression, more attacks. They focus on Deathwing again. And he's totally fine here. It's going to be pretty tough to nail him down properly. He is one of the few staples that we're going to see in these fights, especially once that the Horrify is ready for Gul'dan. The interrupt potential that you're going to get with him is, of course, also going to be pretty big. Illidan able to rush away. This could have been a bit spicy if he gets caught, but he identified that threat very, very early on and was able to retreat from it. So now with that, we have ETC maybe a little bit too far out up at the front. There's not a lot of CC left for them. They have Gul'dan to play, Mal'Ganis to play around a bit, but it's not like they have a ton of CCs and stuns that they can use here. Something that with Root and ETC slide, the red team has available a lot more. So, yeah. Big fight once again over the camp. Illidan isn't here though. They're really continuing to do this, and ETC is suffering the consequences. Now, with Deathwing already going deep, they really want that kill over here. I'm not sure if they can get it. He's forcing him to retreat a bit because of the stun, and gets good damage up, but it's not enough to take him down. So the camps are still claimed by a Scuffed team. They might not be able to win these fights, but at least they are able to take the mercenary camps. D.Va is struggling to deal with Illidan, And now we got Master Chips also coming straight in for ETC. So I think both of these altars are likely going to end up in the hands of Scuffed team because Illidan is not joining the fun yet. But once that he does, it's going to be a bit of a different story. So he's hoping for level 10, as you can see, and they are about to get their level 10 ability. And I think it's going to happen before that altar is channeled. Or so I thought, and then looking at Illidan, he's actually doing the entire thing. He has the hunt now. So they get the altar, and now they can retreat. This was really perfect timing for them. Illidan with the hunt could have been a massive problem, because that small gap in experience where only one team had heroic abilities could have been used by the Cats to try and get a kill and then lock the altar in. But both altars were taken by Scuffed team, and the team in blue is now also trying to make a bit of a play. Oh, the barbecue! Oh my god! Big barbecue, and we have a dance party. Now the party got interrupted, but they got a double kill on Gul'dan and Malfurion. Yeah, momentum. 4 kills to 0. That's a lot here. But yeah, check this one out. So at this point, they came in for the fight, and then bam! Big molten flame, and down they go. Quick double kill. Nice and tender. Now they're trying for our boy Artenis, and he's in trouble as well. It's also burned down. Tranquility already had to be used, and that bell tower is probably going to survive a bit longer. But it's a 4 versus 4, and the pressure is definitely on. Scuff team is inching slowly and steadily a bit ahead, but they only have a half-level lead over the opponent's team. This one is obviously a meme. I mean, a single grenade is going to end that. So they're going to get that eventually. But I guess this time, yeah, this time Mal'Ganis is not making it. Mal'Ganis down, first kill finally for the Cats. And the timing is pretty decent. There's a single altar that spawns just as Mal'Ganis is back up on the map, so he could be there in time if they just delay it slightly. The more worrisome thing is that Illidan is of course pressuring the top lane, as you can see with the fort here, and he's also scaling pretty alright into the later stages of the game. He has 12 stacks on his level 7, we have him with a completion on the level 1 quest, so as the game continues he is going to have more and more of an impact on things, and that is the real danger for Scuff team. Deathwing ready for a few interrupts. They're not going to be able to pull that off too long. Mal'Ganis is back, but the channel has happened. Maybe they can force a fight here. The problem is that he's still dying. That should not have been a thing. So he's able to get out, barely, but he's low, which means that they can't fight for the camp either. Now D.Va is at least getting value at the top lane, since she escorted another one through. Big swap! It's actually ridiculous that he can swap Odin. That once again shows perfectly well that Protoss are OP and Terrans are underpowered. If you can just swap him in like this. Lili low, but she gets away. The camp is taken. They got the camp. He stole the camp away, and now they are jumping on Malfurion. Thankfully for him, he made it through the choke point. But what a weird fight. Illidan still can't stop, won't stop. He's still sitting there. Hit after hit. It's kind of a meme. There's another ult by Lili. What a weird battle. Deathwing is down, but I think they're losing ground way too quickly now. Especially Tigers is in trouble, but it's Mal'Ganis who saves the day for them. It's mind-blowing to me that nobody on the red team lost their life. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me. It's ridiculous. How did he make it out of that one? So, yeah, damage output, we have 37,000 from Gul'dan, 29,000 from Illidan. But this fight was just bananas. I mean, how did they survive this? Deathwing died, and everybody on the red team should have died at least 3 times over during that battle. I think Lili also got 2 of her ults through, if I'm not completely mistaken. At least it looked like it for a second. So, yeah, just nuts. Absolutely bonkers what's currently happening here. And there's a lot on the line, of course. I mean, again, if the Cats lose this game, then they are out of the tournament. D.Va dies, and the Cats are gaining ground. Cats are gaining a lot of ground here as they're continuing with this. They're also trying to stop Lili down at the bottom. Not happening just yet, but action, action, action. We see them over and over again making a couple of plays, and now not only trying to take Tigers down, but also an attempt to reclaim that bell tower. And it seems like they're gonna get both, at least I want to say so. Are they gonna claim it? Not quite. Still a bit of an assist. But Gul'dan is at least done with this build. And the channel is happening, and there's no interrupt. So another 4 shots fired, and they're getting closer and closer to equalizing the points on the core. Deathwing flying out. Illidan is on his ass every single time, and now with the stun we have Mal'Ganis destroyed. This is looking worse and worse for Scuffed team. We might end up in another 5-mapper if this continues. 29 points to 24, and Illidan in particular is gaining more ground as we speak. Late game is his domain. It absolutely is. And they just don't have anything to deal with him. I talked about this during the draft, and we had Illidan, of course, in some of the previous games as well, where stuns were the biggest tool against him. And if you look over to the blue team, they don't have any. There's no stuns here. There's nothing. They got the Sleep of Mal'Ganis. It's the only thing they have. Blind on Lili, I mean, nice, but he's just going to jump out and is going to re-engage. So it's not a lot. Nice, nice party. Ults out, Deathwing dead. There's the Horrify. They go for Lili, and she's dropped as well. Lili down. You can hop around all you want, Bunny, but you are not going to change the outcome of this fight. I can tell you that much. Level 16 talents are in. And yeah, this is looking very, very good for the Cats. They lost 2 in a row. Guys, we have a real chance of seeing a reverse sweep happen here at Meta Madness. There's a real chance that they're going to be able to pull this off. That's 15 points that they're likely going to lose now. 15. Alright. D.Va is sitting up at the top. We have Gul'dan working on the next camp. Massive amount of momentum. If they get all 3, it's 15 points. They're trying to go for D.Va here. And look at that. ETC says hello. There's a swap. Happy times getting out of that. She doesn't have the cooldown anymore. And D.Va is dead. D.Va down. 3 shots fired against 10. So we're going to have 21 points to 19. Drakia actually didn't channel that. What? What happened here? Did he just grief and cancel it too early? What? I'm a little bit surprised. They're still gonna get it. It's a bait. It's just a bait. They're just getting the rest of them into the mix. So yeah, they're just baiting here. They wanted the team fight. They're getting the team fight. Illidan is occupying 2 of them. Deathwing is rushing out, and they all leave Tychus alone to his own devices. Everybody is just running. Everybody's just running. Deathwing must have interrupted Gul'dan, by the way. This is the only real explanation. He dropped in there too. Makes no sense that he cancelled that. Why would he have cancelled that? Yeah, Deathwing as a factor, obviously, in the game here too. He's done it before and he did it again, but it didn't really help them too much. It just lost Tychus now. We have 8 kills to 4. 250 stacks for Atanis. Not that it matters. That talent is fucking useless. This talent is absolutely useless. He has 30,000 damage. It's 5,000 damage more than ETC. And Atanis is the bruiser on the side. So that level 1 talent for him is so garbage. It's unbelievable how bad that is. Yeah, he gets a little bit of a damage output here, but nothing compared to heroes like Illidan, Gul'dan, and even ETC is close to his numbers. Maybe finally a chance to bring this back. Okay, so they kill ETC. Is that maybe a chance to get back into it? Lili with another ult. If they make it level 20 and she gets her ult out, that's a lot of heal that they can play around with. But now it's another kill against Tychus, so he's dead. And they just can't do enough here. Down they go. Deathwing is dead again. 10 kills to 5. Horrify is out. Root on the ground. Still a 5 versus 3 bell tower situation. And it's tough for them. It's a 2-level lead. 2 levels! 2-level gap. More and more momentum as all of this continues. So right now we have Mal'Ganis trying to do something. Slow them down. Stop them. Yeah, that is already going to be super difficult. And you can see that even with his help, the fort, the bell tower in the middle of the map is still getting crushed. Drakia takes it. Drakia takes it, and they want to go for the full barrage. And guys, they're going to get the full barrage. Look at Illidan. He doesn't care. Illidan doesn't care. He's just going for the structures. He's like, all right, I'm going to take this one. Full barrage is happening. That's going to be 6 shots fired. They are hunting in as they're trying to make the play here. 13 points. And now one shot after another is getting fired towards the blue team. They're losing ground, they're losing it quickly. Tigers at the bottom of the map was trying to retake the bell tower. That's not happening. They're going to lose the game right here, right now. It's way too much. The altar is going to be channeled. It's going to be 7 shots fired. Illidan dies because he goes full YOLO solo to take the entire team on by himself. Malfurion has started it all up. They're trying desperately to reclaim this, but it's already too late. It's already too late. The shots are fired, and that is it. We have another 5-mapper here at Meta Madness as the Cats claim victory on Towers of Doom. Game number 5. Another 5-mapper. I am impressed that the Cats have managed to win 2 in a row now. So it takes a lot when you're 0-2 to really dig deep and start clawing your way back into it. So the Cats are currently on their way to maybe pull a full reverse sweep off. Let's see if they can do it. It's Dragonshire, the final map of the series. And as I said before, whoever loses this one is out. And the winner is going to advance to the next round of the losers bracket. If I remember correctly, the winner of this series goes up against the Raiders. So that should be the next opponent that whoever wins here faces. And now we have 62 heroes banned. 40 heroes were already played, so they can't be played again. And on top of that, we have then, of course, also the 22 heroes that are banned for the entire playoffs. And we don't have a whole lot of supports left anymore. In fact, we only have 2. We have Turan and Alexstrasza. Those are the only 2 that are still up here. So, bit curious to see how this is now going to play out, because they should just ban them. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they're not getting banned yet. Scuffed team should now ban a support, and then the Cats are going to just accept that and say like, alright, let chaos reign, and they're banning a support as well. If there's no support banned, then it means that the teams are going for a little bit of a gentleman's agreement, and I don't think we need that. I want the no support game, so it's like, what are you doing? Just ban it. Ban? Yes, they banned Tyrande. And now the Cats are likely going to respond with Alexstrasza. Yep, there we go. No healers. No healers in this game, everyone. Healers are out, and Stitches is the only tank that's left. Scuff team should pick Stitches. If you have no healers, you can go Devour build with Stitches and give him massive sustain. Oof. I mean, I get Junkrat, but giving up on Stitches? He's the only real tank that's left, and he has a lot of self-sustain. I don't think I would have given up on that. I really, really don't think I would have let that slide. Junkrat is amazing. Really, don't get me wrong. He's insane. But given that you don't have a healer anymore... And they also go Rexa Mephisto. They give up on Stitches as well. Am I crazy? Has Stitches been played? Has Stitches been played? I don't think so. So... this is actually getting interesting. Zarya is also available, by the way. I mean, that is some dirty stuff that he could pull off now. Zagara and Ragnaros. By fire be purged. Ragnaros is in. I cannot believe that Stitches hasn't been picked yet. That's insanity to me. You have no healers right now. You can go into a build focusing a little bit more on Devour and have actual sustain on the tank if you want to have a bit of a front line. Nah, come on, why? Don't ban the Butcher. Butcher gets banned. That's just sad. That is just sad. I don't like that at all. How about Murky? We're gonna get a Murky here. Oh, and you have the Zebo, of course. Alright, alright. But Ragnaros could be super interesting with this too. They are a little bit on the squishy side, on the other hand. Oh, they forgot to ban! Okay, yeah, boys. Oh, somebody is gonna get slapped around a little bit. Cho'Gall banned. Butcher banned. Murky is still up. Phoenix and Thrall. Okay, Phoenix Thrall. Are we still getting stitches, or did he just completely let it slide and ignore it? I mean, you got hooks. You can play around the hook here. Kel'Thas is also up, by the way. So he has at least a shield. Shield for Phoenix as well. I mean, you want to have a little bit of self-sustain, right? And Rehgar was a great choice from the cats for sure. But I'm still looking at this and I'm thinking, Jimmy and Kel'Thas. Oh my god. Jimmy and Kel'Thas. Let's go. And a final pick for Drak here. And by the way, my mind is blown that we have neither seen Stitches or Zarya picked. It's Alarak. Stitches and Zarya both get ignored. With that, we're heading into game number 5, Dragonshire. Let's figure out which team will move on to the next round of the losers bracket and which team is going to lose and drop out of the tournament. Game number 5, the final map between Scuffed team and the Cats. On the left, we got Mindtalk on Jimmy, Hanzuka on Ragnaros, J-Hard is playing Junkrat, Master Chips on Kel'Thas, and Mr. Tycho on Zegara. Supports were out for this one. No more heals in the game. No more healers, and it is becoming a fiesta. Drak here on the right side of the map playing for the Cats on Thrall. We got Herath on Mephisto, Zero on Rexa, Captain Rex on Phoenix, and No Game, No Life is playing Alarak. Zarya wasn't taken, and Stitches was ignored as well. So now we got Jimmy's still waiting for his level 1. And yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that particularly Stitches wasn't claimed, considering that his hook is just so damn good in a situation like this. There's no support to save the target, especially when you're going for Gorge. Have fun trying to save anybody in that situation. And even more important, of course, is that self-sustain and the regeneration that Stitches himself has. But this means it's going to be an absolute slugfest. It's all about death and decay. We're going to see a massive amount of deaths on this one. And it starts with a double kill against Scuff team. They're Cats. They want to go for the reverse sweep. They already won 2 games in a row. And now they are looking good at the opening of game number 3. They go for Master Chips and he gets snacked up. Or not. Okay, so apparently they're trying to delay the death a little bit. Yep, they get the kill. Delaying the death, staggering that slightly so that they have another opportunity over here. Yeah, and Mindtalk is probably gonna die too. That's 4 kills to 0 and we're only 1.5 minutes into the game. That was pretty quick. That was very, very quick. So, yeah. Level 1, we, by the way, got the Exterminator. Alright, so gonna play around that a little bit more. Should be really fun around the objective now as well, considering the way that this is currently panning out here. It's 5 kills. The whole idea here is pretty much who can kill the opponent the fastest. That's what they're currently trying out here. And of course, they're also attempting to go for the Dragonite. But first, Kel'Thas dies. It's an absolute slaughter. Dragonite and 7 kills to 0. What the hell? What a barrage of attacks. They are 2 levels ahead and we're just starting into the game. It seems like, at least for now, the red team is looking much, much better when it comes to the chaotic game that is map number 5. What an absolute murderous barrage. Can't stop, won't stop. They're getting crushed where they stand. We're 2 minutes and 30 into the game. We have 8 kills by now, and we are looking at the first fort that is going to be annihilated. Without tanks, without supports, there's obviously only damage to be had, and there's no salvaging a situation where you step out of position and the blue team is getting massively punished in that context. They lost the middle of the map already, and it is a bit bananas how this one is shaping up. So, not a good start for them. Now, if they can somehow recover from the initial shock, then maybe they are able to bring this one back. But the attacks, they just keep coming. They went for the Junkrat pick early on. Maybe now an opportunity to get the first kill, but Phoenix makes it out. At the bottom of the map, at least Zagara has been pushing this a little bit. So she's been trying to be aggressive around structures. The whole idea there, of course, being if you are able to just move in and take some of these heroes out, or some of these structures out, then you can slowly start to push forward. But instead, they're just losing heroes all over the place. You have Thrall against you, and you also got Alarak. There is a severe lack of melees on the side of the blue team. It's one of the biggest problems that they have with their draft. They just have no melee heroes that have any chance to drive these fights. It's a massive problem. You have nobody that can go into melee mode. You have nobody that has any kind of CC on their end, or at least very few. You have a gravity lapse, I suppose, that you can work around a little bit, but that's just not going to be enough, as you can see here. We have Thrall that can always just drop a quick wolf on them, then Alarak comes in with a combo, and the blue team just doesn't stand a chance here. They got completely outdrafted. They got absolutely outdrafted with this. There is just no CC for them. They are losing ground by the second. Everything is getting annihilated as they are losing heroes and they're losing objectives and structures. Huge problem for them right now. The combo of Alarak, Misha and Thrall at the front is nearly impossible for them to bridge. They have an enormous amount of range damage output, but as soon as these heroes are getting close to them, they're just getting wrecked. And it's been a problem from start to finish here. So on level 7, we now get the Ancestral Wrath. We have the Meatball build for Ragnaros. It is not looking good for them at all. So how can they recover here? I'm not sure they can, because they're so far behind experience and in structures already that it might just be impossible. We now get the Deadly Charge, which allows Alarak to gap the to close any gap and engage. And just look at these combos. Ragnaros is melted away. And so is Kel'Thas. How many times did Kel'Thas die by now? He died 4 times. So did Ragnaros. 13 kills to 0. 13 kills. And again, I remind everybody, Stitches was available. You could have gone and picked up Zarya, but now they are just crushing them. It's level 10 against finally a kill. Phoenix dies. At least Phoenix dies. But it's only a single kill. 1 against 16, and there's another Dragon Knight to be had now, as they are once again moving in for the objective. Oh my god. Yeah, they did not think this through. They had a lot of damage. They were thinking to push. They wanted to push the lanes, and they had a lot of tools to try and get that going. But Alarak in particular is just setting these kills up with the telekinesis and with all the displacement to an extent where it's nearly impossible for them to do anything about it. So yeah, it is a grim outlook for the red team. Dragon Knight at the bottom of the map is currently going for the fort and taking it down. The one in the middle has obviously already been destroyed earlier. By now we have 70 kills to 1. They don't have level 10. They just can't fight back here. When you don't have heroic abilities, you stand absolutely no chance with a lineup like this one. So it's a 3-level advantage at this point in time, and they are just crushing them. One hero after another. The bot lane gets now attacked. They want to open up an opportunity to take the keep down later. And it's only a 7-minute game. Only 7 minutes into it. Zagara is dead, and Scuffed team, it is a crying shame. They played such a fun tournament, but now they're getting murdered. Phoenix dies again. Instant report for feeding, obviously. And that is actually a pretty cool move. That Junkrat is going into the rocket ride. That's a real fun move, considering that there are no supports here. So that's pretty sweet. I like that. But yeah, generally speaking, it just doesn't seem like they have a way of recovering from this situation. At least I don't know what they could possibly do here in order to bring this back. Rocket Ride was a cool idea, and now that they have level 10 abilities, they can at least try. And of course, just taking a quick look, take a look at the experience. Look at the difference in experience between heroes. 21 to 3 kills, and the only gap in experience is 3,500. That's because they killed the hero so much later and they have the underdog bonus. But the forts at the bottom and the mid lane have already been destroyed now, and that's the more important part. If they can with Rocket Ride and Sylvannas try and just take a couple of heroes down, it would be great. Even better if Zagara can set it up with a maul. But yeah, it's doubtful. Very doubtful. This one shouldn't kill anybody. Nope, they're still getting out. Maw is in, and Zagara is dead again. Mephisto this late, of course, is just insane. That he made it to map number 5 in the first place is already incredible. And then if you are able to pick him up, his damage output is out of this world. He's a great hero for game number 1, and he's been consistently banned throughout the entire series. 140 sadism now. And we have 23 to 3 kills. They maintain that 3-level advantage over the opponent's team. And are now moving in again. Pyro! Boom! Well, there it is. The kill. And they got Thrall. Yeah, they got Thrall as well. So the blue team with 2 kills. Kill number 4 and kill number 5. Good for them. Meatball build continues. But it's another objective for their opponents. Yeah, Junkrat was hoping that he can still interrupt it, but obviously he was a little bit too late there. So we got the Pyro Blast. They got a few kills in, but the Dragonite playing it slow. Easy, just waiting for Alarak, waiting for Thrall. They're trying to not waste the objective completely. They can run down the time a little bit and then just go for a quick attack and see what they can do with this. But there's absolutely no need to just move over and now aggressively YOLO into anything. Now that the 2 are back on the map, they can move as 5. They have another 40 seconds. It's not the ideal scenario, but in addition to that, they also have level 16. So that kind of helps. Gives you a little bit more of a lead, so there's at least something to do. And now with half a minute left, they can at least do some damage down at the bottom of the map and do their best here to at least damage the keep. They might not be able to take it down, but damaging it alone is already worth it. Zagara is instantly dead again. Dragon Knight is all alone. The rest of the team has moved more so towards the top. Down here, it seems like Rexa, yes, gets killed. Rocket Ride wasn't even needed there. The Sulfuros alone already did the trick for them. So yeah, job well done. Top side, we still have a bit of an attack of the red team. Now, all memes and all jokes aside, there's still something that we also should consider here, and that is if this continues the way that it does, eventually the red team still needs to take the structures down. So they haven't taken a keep yet. You need to really make sure that you're using all of these advantages that you're getting by killing the opponents, that you're using them to take structures down. Or eventually they're going to catch up with talents, and then you might start losing some of these fights. It's not very likely that we're going to get to that point, but there's been plenty of games in the past where exactly that has happened. One team gets a little bit too cocky, wastes too much time, doesn't capitalize on advantages that they get for themselves, and then they get annihilated shortly after because the opponent is able to draw even, reach the same talent tier, for example, and things are escalating quickly. So that's definitely something that they have to have on their radar here, or they could get punished for it. And every single kill brings them a little bit closer. So there's the warp out. Yeah, and they're getting... well, Zagara dies again, but at least she gets the Maw out. They're trying to now go for Alarak. And that's the sadism gone. He's gonna lose the sadism. Sadism gone for Alarak. 8 kills to 26. Kel'Thas also deaded. And now they're going for Ragnaros, and that puts them into the perfect spot to finally take one of the keeps. Oh, Mind Talk survives on Jimmy, but everybody else is dead. He's the sole survivor here. So that's gonna mark the end of the first major structure here. Keep gets attacked and taken out. So yeah, nice for them. Well, there it is. 37 kills. 37 kills right now. So yeah, pretty neat. And the objective is up on the map again, which means it's time for another shrine. Get another shrine, try to get another Dragonite, and then in an ideal world use that Dragonite to win the game. That has to be the plan here. That's why the blue team is heavily interested to push them away from this one. So they're taking Misha down. Nobody is channeling in the middle. Instead, everybody is rotating towards the top as they're trying to take Zagara down. For the 9th time, by the way. She's working on the double digits, and she's making a spectacular progress on it. Yeah, down here. We still have a bit of an attack, and seems like Junkrat has hopes of winning this one. Not so sure about that. Yeah, Kel'Thas is dead, and he missed! No, he actually missed on the rocket ride. Now they're going for Ragnarok's 41 kills, and they got the DK. I gotta give it to the Cats though. After being 0-2, being able to pull off a reverse sweep is pretty spectacular. Personally, I didn't think that they had it in them. After the 2-0 lead for Scuffed team, I thought they would win the series. But also a big shout out to Scuffed team. They played a fantastic tournament here. It was very entertaining to watch them. I'm a little bit sad for them that they couldn't make it in the end, but the Cats are able to move on to the next round of the tournament and are now gonna face off against the Raiders.